Alright, what up, guys? It's currently like 2 a.m. Technically the next day, but basically I'm gonna tell you about what happened today. And, this is crazy. Like, for me, it's something that happens often. In the industry, it happens all the time, where it's like somebody's bike got stolen. But this is like a friend that's not really in the industry or anything. Long story short, my friend's bike got stolen. But he didn't know, and neither did we. So, yeah, it's crazy. So basically, we're sitting at the park. It's B, Hicks, B Money, Damien, Gabriel, Michael, Pete, and we're just chilling, having a fun little sesh. Pete and B Money had, just got out here, and we were just riding around. Hound is, just having fun. And some dude, what'll happen is basically, if a dude comes by and we see you on a bike, we're gonna look at you. We're gonna try to figure out like, yo, is that his bike or is it somebody else's? So some dude comes pedaling by. Obviously, he didn't know what type of bike he had or where he was at because he went pedaling by the park with the bike, which is the dumbest thing he could have did. So he goes and does that, and we see him. We're like, "Yo, that looks like Jeff's bike," and I'm like, "Nah." In my head, I'm like, "Nah, it's not Jeff's bike. The bars look different or whatever." And Chris is like, "No, I remember the bars and the front wheel. That's Jeff's bike." So he calls Jeff and he asks him like, "Yo, Jeff, where's your bike at?" Jeff's like, "It's in my car," and he's like, "No, it's not. It's not in your car because I just seen somebody ride by." So at that point, Chris is like, Chris impulsive sometimes, so he just pedals out the park, and I'm like, that's my boy. Like I'm Chris ever need anything, I got his back, hands down. So as soon as he takes off, I'm like, yo, I gotta go. I'm like, I'm not letting him go by himself. Don't know what to do. Don't know anything. I'm going, hands down, I don't care. So I take off. I'm following him. Hicks comes, Gabriel comes behind me, Damien, no, not Damien, B Money, and some other random kid. They come by and we're smashing, and now we're looking for this dude, and we're pedaling through the park, and I'm like, yo, I don't know where he's at. We stop. We think we seen him. It wasn't him. So we're like pedaling to the end of the park, and I look in the distance, and I see a figure like go by. And I'm like, yo, that's him. I'm like, he just hit a left right there. It was Myrtle. I was like, he just hit a left, and I'm like, let's go. So smashing up trying to find him, and then when you hit the corner right there, there's a quick right that you can take. Like it's real quick. It's like, so he takes that right. I just know it in my head. Like I'm like, yo, Chris, he's not on the street anymore. He's not that fast. It's not possible. He had to hit this right. So we hit the right. And we're pedaling up the streets, and there's a bunch of like it's a neighborhood at that point. So now we're looking through streets and everything, and I'm like, yo, just look left and right, because he could be hiding. I've experienced it. You're running away from somebody. You're like, I don't know if I can get away, so you hide. Perfect thing to do at night is to hide. So what he did is he just tried to smash up the street, which didn't make it. I'm pedaling. I look left and I see him. I'm like, yo, that's him. So at this point, I end up in front of the group and I'm smashing towards him, pedaling towards him, and he starts looking back. Like he starts to notice that we're actually following him and not just riding around. Like at first, you could tell that he was like kind of scared and didn't know for sure, but then he realized that we were following him because we were right behind him. So then he drops us back. Now at that point, I slow down a bit. I'm like, I don't know what he about to do, because usually you drop your bag, you kind of get prepared. You're like, all right, I gotta get ready. I'm either gonna grab my gun, knife, or whatever it is that he may have had. It's like, all right, back off a little bit. I'm not trying to die over this bike. Of course not. But so he ends up like throwing his bag down, stopping in the corner, and Hicks is like smashes by, like, yo, let's get him. And then so we go, we pedal to him, and the dude's like, the first thing we say is like, get off the bike, get off the bike. That's not your bike. You're like, yo, somebody let me ride it. Somebody let me ride it. And we're like, no, he didn't. No, he did. That's a homie bike. Get off the bike. He's like, no. So he tries smashing off. He tries to literally run away from us. Like at this point, we're on Artesia, like Artesia is a main street. It's a really main street out here. So he hits a main street and he's going like left towards Jordan again. He's going towards Jordan again. He's smashing, he's pedaling. It's all of us at this point. You know, we're all in a group surrounding him, like trying to get him off the bike. Like, didn't want to push him off or nothing. We're just like, you know, get off the bike. Yo, get off the bike. That's not your bike. He said, no, somebody let me ride it. We're like, you're lying. You know, what are you lying for? Nobody lets you ride the bike. So he starts like, I'm right on side of him at this point. He tries like juking me and everything. And then, so instead of going back towards Jordan, he hits a U-turn and heads towards Grant. Grant Elementary School is right over there on Orange or Cherry, whatever street. He tries doing that, and he almost gets hit by a car. Gabriel's almost get hit by a car chasing him and everything. And then he tries to cross back over the street, but what he didn't know was Chris was still across the street. Chris hadn't crossed over. He was across the street waiting just in case he crossed the street. So when dude crossed the street, Chris is already there. So then when he got on that side, he didn't know what to do. So he goes up and he hits another U-turn. And at this point, you know, I was chasing him towards that way, and he crossed the street this way, and Chris is over there already. So he tries to hit a U-turn, and what does that do? It runs him into me. You know, we're going like playing game of chicken at this point. You know, I'm not slow. I'm like, I know I've ran into people before, and I know what'll happen. We're either both gonna get hurt, one person's gonna get hurt, or no one's gonna get hurt. We'll get up and be fine. So instead of it being that option, I wasn't gonna get hurt. What I did was, and shout out to Stranger for making some strong bites, because nothing happened to my bike. I said, forget that. I literally jumped off my bike. I ghost rided my bike towards him. I just, like all strength though, just threw it at him, and then he flipped. He flipped like at that point, and he flipped over, and we surrounded him like, yo, let go of the bike now. Like, yo, and he was like, okay. Somebody let me ride. We're like, you know, stop lying, you know. Of course, like, stop lying. We obviously know nobody lets you ride the bike. So what are you sitting there lying for? And like, I have not been so angry in such a long time. Like, tonight was so crazy. Like, but yeah. So after that, I was so angry. Like when he decides to stand up, like he wants to do something. So I'm standing behind him at this point because I threw my bike and he flipped down. So I'm standing behind him, but he stands up kind of like he wants to do something. So instead of that, I grab him like from his waist from behind and I flip him backwards, and then we take off. We grab the bike. Chris is like, you know, Kicks is like, yo, here's your bike. Let's go. And because at this point we're literally in the most exposed area ever, in the middle of the street. Like, this is crazy. It's like, you know, you wouldn't expect to see something like this. You're driving up, you're like, why is there, you know, 5-6 bikers sitting here in the middle of the street looking like they're beating some dude up? And it's just like, we're just trying to retrieve our property back, but we didn't want it to escalate into anything bad, you know, especially right there. So grab the bike, head back to the park. We called our homie Jeff, and we're like, yo, Jeff, your bike's up here, come get it. And, you know, later on, he gets to the park, grabs his bike, and we call him later on when we were going to get food. And we're like, yo, Jeff, what happened? Like, yo, is your window broke or anything? He said no. And that made me recall that dude had a screwdriver. Dude was carrying a screwdriver, and I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, I'm 100% sure he used a screwdriver to break into his car without, like, really damaging it. Like, without, you know, showing signs of it, so Jeff wouldn't have known as soon as he seen it. So, yeah, he did that. Got into Jeff's car. Jeff had no idea. Like, Jeff was at his friend's house, so he had no clue. When he found out, he was mad. But he was, you know, just imagine somebody stealing from you. So, yeah, that happened. Like, that was insane. But, like, I don't know. That got the heart racing. Like, that was like, you know, it was crazy. Like, to see all of us at that point, like, if you're a homie, you know, we got your back. If you're a good friend, we got your back. But it was just crazy that it had to get to that point, honestly. But yeah, so that's how tonight went. Um, if you're worried about the Lil Pump video, don't worry about it. Uh, yeah, that was a crazy. That's the long story because that's how long it was and that's how long it felt. It felt slow motion chasing dude around the corner. Hicks can tell you because I know Hicks got content because he has all of us talking about it. Now we didn't have GoPros on, we didn't have any of that. It was all impulsive. We weren't thinking like, yo, let's go film this. Like, no, that's not how life works. That's not where it's like, yo, Chris just took off. Let me go grab my let me go grab my GoPro. Like, no, it's not on film. It's none of that. We just went over and we got our friend's bike back, and I'm thankful nothing went wrong. I'm happy everything is fine. But yeah. So thank you guys for listening to this crazy story. And if you plan on selling bikes, don't. Trust me, it's not good. Not safe. Somebody will find you. Somebody will find out, or karma will come back twice. That's hard, and that's just life for you. So bike thieves beware. And if you see somebody on a bike that's your friends, I don't suggest you go after anybody alone. Like I do not suggest that you go for your own little criminal justice or anything like that. But I suggest you find a way to get it back. And unless you really think you can handle yourself alone, I don't suggest you do it alone. But peace out, guys.